All
right, Mr. Stone, you are charged with a warrant out of Coconino County. Looks like it was, ooh, I guess we got to wait for the the public defender, I believe, is there.
I'm here.
All right. Is there a CA there? I gotta wait for the county attorney. Is it Nathan Gratz? Is that the county attorney?
Your Honor, I'm with pretrial.
No, I was looking for the deputy county attorney. All right, so Mr. Lowell, you said your name is Lowell Peter Stone, is that correct? If you could unmute.
Apologies.
Yes, Your Honor. My name is Lowell Peter Stone.
All right, looks like you had a warrant out of Coconino County for unlawful possession of a dangerous drug, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia, a false criminal impersonation, having a false ID, and a misdemeanor arrest for resisting arrest. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty, let you know you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. You do have an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. And I understand that Coconino County wanted you held on a $25,000 bond. Yes, counsel?
Your Honor, he's a lifelong resident of Tucson and has ties to the community. He's explained the situation pretty well. He was in custody on a Pima matter when this warrant issued. And I have a letter right here from the Coconino County Flagstaff Justice Court that he had filed a motion to have his warrant quashed, and he sent a letter back. Perhaps it wasn't received yet. So he's taken action, even being in custody, to try to get this warrant quashed. And so for those reasons, I would ask that you release him. He does have housing with his mother. If the court is inclined to impose a bond, I request that it be $1,000.
The court's gonna set a $5,000 bond. The review hearing here. Let's see. When would we set a review hearing here in Tucson? When would we set a hearing here? I'm gonna hold him. Yeah, it's not. It says today's date. May 28th. At what time? May 28th. All right, sir, your review hearing set for May 28th at 9 a.m. just to see if you're still in custody. I'm going to appoint the Coconino County Public Defender's Office to represent you. All right, thank you. You're excused, sir.
Yes. Clark.
What is your name, please?
Matthew Clark.
Mr. Clark, you are charged with a couple of warrants for your arrest out of Justice Court. A domestic violence disorderly conduct from July 5th, 2022, domestic violence criminal trespass in the third degree from November 5th of 2024, and having alcohol in a public place, and a criminal trespass in the third degree from April 4th of 2025. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty, quash the warrants. I'm actually going to release you on these cases, so you have to appear in justice court. These cases will not go away until you appear in court. May 20th at 9:30 a.m. is your next court date for all three cases. Do you understand, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're excused. Thank you. What is your name, please?
Clark.
Mr. Zapata, you are charged. We have a couple of charges. You have a warrant. Let's see. A shoplifting warrant out of justice court. I'm going to quash the warrant. I'm going to release you on this case May 9th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. is your next court date in justice court. If you're out of custody, you got to make sure you appear. You also had warrants for your arrest out of city court on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 warrants, all for like drinking in public, criminal trespass in the third degree, shoplifting. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. I'm going to set your bond at $500 secured. Appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Your next hearing date is going to be May 9th, 2025 at 1:45 p.m. Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. Thank you. What is your full name, please?
Angelica Rose Graham.
You're charged with two separate charges of domestic violence disorderly conduct. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. I will release you. You got to get along with your mom. I'm not sure what's happening there, but you can't have contact actually with your mother.
Okay, understood.
Hold on a second. Let me type her name. Don't commit any further acts of domestic violence. Your next court date is going to be in Green Valley Justice Court, May 1st at 8:30 a.m. You must appear. If you do not, a warrant will issue for your arrest. You're excused. Thank you. What is your full name, please?
Jamil Raymond.
Hmm. Let's see. Say your last name again.
Raymond.
All right, hold on a second. Mr. Raymond, looks like you have new charges of criminal trespass in a third degree and a drug paraphernalia charge. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty, let you know you do have a right to hire counsel. You'd be screened for an attorney if the state's seeking jail time at some later point. You could represent yourself in this case. You've got to, if you don't appear for your next hearing date, I'm going to set it for June 2nd at 9 a.m. Two things could happen. One, a warrant could issue for your arrest, and a new charge of failing to appear could be added to your case. You are entitled to have a right to a speedy trial and to appear at all future court dates, but you got to make sure you're appearing for all your court dates. June 2nd at 9 a.m., I'll release you, and don't go back to 3115 North First Avenue. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, you're excused. Thank you.
He's just set. It's bad. Hello, sir.
So, what is your full name, please?
Marcos Anthony Rios.
You had a warrant for your arrest out of Marana for some sort of assault charge. I'm going to quash the warrant, release you. May 28th, 2025 at 10 a.m. is your next court date in Marana City Court. You've got to appear, sir. If not, another warrant will issue for your arrest. You also had a charge of shoplifting, new charge from today's date, out of justice court. I'm going to enter plea of not guilty. Don't go back to 3845 South Country Club Road. Do you understand?
Circle K Soda, I'm sorry. I apo-
I'm going to enter plea of not guilty. Set your next court date in Pima County Justice Court, May 9th at 8:30 a.m. You also had two warrants for your arrest out of city court, one for disorderly conduct and criminal trespass. Mr. Rios, I'm going to give you a chance to appear. You got to appear in court, sir. If you don't appear,
Yeah,
warrants will issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
I understand. Okay, yes, ma'am, yes.
You're excused. What is your full name, please?
Joshua Wilson.
I'm sorry. Say your name again.
Joshua Lavelle Wilson.
What's your last name, sir?
Wilson
What's your first name?
Joshua.
All right. Thank you. You are charged with new charges of refusing to provide your true name and drug paraphernalia possession. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. Need to let you know that you do have a right to remain silent. You can represent yourself, hire counsel. If the state was seeking jail time, then you would be screened to see if an attorney could be appointed. You got to make sure you make all future court dates. If you do not, two things could happen. One, a warrant could issue for your arrest, and new charges of failing to appear could be added to your case. Mr. Wilson, make sure you appear in court. I'm going to release you. Your next court date is June 2nd, 2025 at 2:00 p.m. You are excused. Thank you. Oh, let me have that back. What is your full name, please?
Isidoro Navarro Rojas.
Oh,
Jun-
Are
Jun-
you a junior?
Yeah.
All right, looks like you had several warrants for your arrest out of South Tucson. One case involving a theft criminal trespass from December 12th, 2024, a criminal trespass, criminal damage from April 1st, 2021, criminal trespass from March 20th, 2023, criminal trespass March 15th, 2024, criminal trespass March 20th, 2024, criminal trespass April 19th, 2024, criminal trespass December 18th, 2024, criminal trespass December 28th, 2024. Your bond is set at $1,000. I'll enter pleas of not guilty, quash the warrant. Michael Vaughn is your appointed counsel. You'll see him in court tomorrow, April 30th at 10 a.m. You also had warrants for your arrest out of city court. Looks like a new charge from today's date, drug paraphernalia possession and criminal trespass. And you also had warrants for your arrest on 3 separate cases, a criminal trespass from April 20th. Well, actually a new charge, April 25th, 2025, criminal trespass, a warrant for your arrest for criminal trespass from August 2nd, 2023, and then a criminal trespass warrant from September 17th, 2019. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. I'm going to hold you on a bond. You'll appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. May 9th, 2025 at 1:45 p.m. is your next court date in city court. Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. Thank you.
Your Honor, Chavez Sasad refused.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Okay, and then Petrardo Luis is unavailable.
What does that mean?
He's not cooperating.
All right, thank you. Can I have the felony files, please? What is your full name, please?
Cesar Ignacio Cel.
I'm sorry, say your name again.
Cesar Ignacio Cel.
You're charged with 2 separate counts of aggravated DUI and weapons misconduct charge ×2, unlawful possession of narcotic drugs, sales of a dangerous drug, unlawful possession of a dangerous drug, and a child abuse charge. I am going to enter pleas of not guilty. Mr. Aceto, I need to let you know that you do have a constitutional right to remain silent to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office regarding their bond recommendation, and then I'll hear from your attorney. Mr. Hotchkiss?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is requesting a $7,500 bond. Would note the fact that Mr. Aceto has a misdemeanor DUI prior. And just there's a variety of things going on here between the child involved and just a lot of concerning factors this allegation. So we think $7,500 is appropriate. Thank you.
Defense counsel?
Your Honor, he's a lifelong resident of Tucson and he has ties to the community. He's currently homeless, so he's not able to post any significant amount of bond. He has 1 prior felony conviction from 2015, but it appears to be a personal use drug matter. I'd ask you set the bond at $2,500.
Mr. Aceto, your bond set at $7,500. Legal defender's office is appointed to represent you. You're not allowed to possess any firearms. If you were to be released, you cannot drive without a valid license. You cannot drink or take any illegal drugs. Preliminary hearing is set May 9th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. Mr. Sater, you also had a misdemeanor drug paraphernalia charge, a warrant for your arrest out of city court. I'm going to quash the warrant, release you. Your next court date in city court is going to be June 20th, 2025 at 9 a.m. I'll appoint the city public defender's office to represent you since you're being held on that felony matter. You are excused. Thank you.
Well,
What is your full name, please?
Angel Ortega Santamaria.
Yeah, all right. So, Mr. Santa Maria, one of your cases was an unlawful possession of a narcotics drug case, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. You were arrested for that charge today. The state has made a decision at this time to dismiss those charges without prejudice, which means there's a possibility the state could refile those charges. For now, they're dismissed. I will release you on those charges. You also were charged with aggravated assault on a peace officer. I'm going to enter plea of not guilty. Let you know you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. You do have an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office regarding their bond recommendation, and then I will hear from your attorney. Mr. Hotchkiss?
Yes, Your Honor. We're requesting $2,500. It appears that Mr. Santa Maria is on probation for a felony offense. He has a prior conviction for aggravated assault on a police officer, and he's got 3 prior felony convictions. So all things considered, a bond is warranted. $2,500 strikes us as reasonable. Thank you.
Defense counsel?
Your Honor, he's a lifelong resident of Tucson with ties to the community. He does have housing with a friend right now. He is connected with La Frontera for behavioral health. I'd ask the court to set the bond at $1,000, but note that he would like to be released.
Mr. Santa Maria, your bond is set at $2,500. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your preliminary hearing is set May 9th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. You also had some misdemeanor cases out of city court, new charges of shoplifting, disorderly conduct from today's date, a separate case for criminal trespass and shoplifting from today's date, a third case for looks like it might be a duplicate charges, criminal trespass, shoplifting, and then you already have a pending case for disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, criminal trespass on March 4th of 2024. I am going to enter pleas of not guilty. Set your bond at $500 so you can be seen by a judge sooner rather than later. And your next court date is going to be in city court, May 8th, 2025 at 1:45 p.m. And I'll appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. You are excused. Thank you.
Thank you.
What is your full name, please?
Vicente Omar Nieves Fierro.
You speak Spanish?
Yes, and English too.
Spanish interpreter, you're there?
I am, Your Honor.
You had a felony warrant for your arrest out of Maricopa County.
Usted tiene una orden de arresto por una felonía del condado de Maricopa
They were for 2 separate charges of aggravated DUI.
por 2 cargos distintos por andar conduciendo bajo los efectos del alcohol con agravantes.
Looks like the offense date was June 13, 2018.
Parece que la fecha del delito sucedió el 13 de junio, June 13, what date, what year, Your Honor?
2018.
Del 2018.
They were asking that I set a bond of $1,000.
Están solicitando que dé una fianza de $1,000.
I see you have an immigration hold.
Creo que tiene una orden de detención del Departamento de Inmigración.
Defense counsel, your recommendation?
Le pregunto al abogado de la defensa si tiene alguna recomendación y el abogado de la defensa dice que no tiene una objeción.
No objection, Your Honor.
No tiene objeción, su señoría.
Denise Fierro, your bond is set at $1,000.
Señor Sierra, voy a poner su fianza a $1,000.
I'm going to appoint the Maricopa County Public Defender's Office.
Voy a nombrar a la oficina del defensor público de Maricopa.
I'll set a review hearing May 29th at 9 a.m.
Voy a fijar una audiencia.
The jail will let Maricopa County know that you're in custody.
El personal de la cárcel le va a informar al personal de Maricopa que usted se encuentra detenido.
You're excused. Thank you.
Y eso
Doris. Up the door.
What is your full name, please? Spanish interpreter?
this, I'm sorry, my name or the name of the defendant? I'm sorry.
The defendant.
Señor, ¿cuál es su nombre?
Ángel Gabriel Torres Montilla.
Ángel Gabriel Torres Montillas.
Ángel.
Angel.
You're charged with one count of domestic violence kidnapping.
A usted tiene un cargo por violencia doméstica y secuestro.
I'm going to enter plea of not guilty.
Puede sentar declaraciones de no culpable.
You have a constitutional right to remain silent.
Usted tiene el derecho constitucional de guardar silencio.
You have a right to be represented by an attorney.
Tiene el derecho de contar con la representación de un abogado.
There is an attorney who is seated next to you who is representing you for this evening's hearing.
Hay un abogado que está sentado enseguida de usted, lo representa por la audiencia del día de hoy.
I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office regarding their bond recommendation, and then I'll hear from your attorney.
Voy a escuchar primero con respecto a la fiscalía, con respecto a qué recomiendan con respecto a la fianza, y después voy a escuchar a ver qué recomienda su abogado.
Mr. Hotchkiss?
Señor Hotchkiss.
Your Honor, we are requesting a $50,000 bond,
Su señoría, estamos solicitando una fianza de $50,000.
and the reasons are the high Form 4C responses are very concerning.
Y la razón es porque las respuestas tan altas del formulario C nos causan alarma.
And among other things, the facts of this new case involves Mr. Torres Montilla putting a cigarette out on the female victim.
Y otras cosas que tienen que ver con respecto a este caso, que tiene que ver con el señor Torres Macía, de que apaga un cigarrillo en la víctima.
Which speaks to the power and control dynamics that often come up in domestic violence cases.
Lo que habla con respecto a la situación que suceden cuando son casos de violencia doméstica con respecto a la dinámica de control.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Defense counsel?
Abogada de defensa.
Your Honor, he has no prior felony convictions. The victim told pretrial services that they don't have an objection to his release. He has lived in Tucson for 2 years and has ties to the community. He's also...
One moment, please. Su señoría dice que en este momento dice que no tiene ningún antecedente previo penal. La víctima le informó a la agencia previa al juicio que no se oponen a que lo dejen salir en libertad. And I'm sorry, after you say that the victim spoke with the pretrial services saying he's not objecting to his release, what else did you say?
He's lived in Tucson for 2 years and has ties to the community. He's currently employed and has separate housing from the victim.
Dice que actualmente está viviendo en Tucson por 2 años, tiene lazos con la comunidad, tiene empleo y tiene un lugar donde vivir separado de donde vive la víctima.
I request that you set the bond at $7,500.
Nosotros solicitamos que ponga una fianza por $7,500.
The court's going to set a bond of $25,000.
El juez va a poner una fianza de $25,000.
Mr. Torres Montilla, you cannot have any contact with the victim. Do not call the person.
Your Honor.
El señor Torres Mantilla no puede tener ningún tipo de contacto con la víctima, no llame a la víctima.
Who is speaking?
The victim, Keisha Lopez, Your Honor.
Está hablando la víctima, Keisha López.
You'd like to make a statement?
I
¿Quiere decir
would.
algo? Sí.
The Keisha Lopez, let the interpreter speak first, and then you can speak.
Señora Keisha López, permita que el intérprete hable primero y luego usted hable.
Go ahead.
I
Continúe.
would just like to say, Your Honor, that I don't have any problem with him being released. I had told the officers I don't want any charges pressed.
One moment,
I just
please.
want him.
One moment, please. Okay, one moment, please. Su señoría, quiero decirle que yo no me opongo a que lo dejen en libertad. Yo hablé con los agentes y les dije que no quería que se pusieran ningún cargo en su contra.
I just want him to get help, and I've talked to his family, his sister, and they're willing to get him help.
Yo lo único que quiero es que él reciba ayuda. Yo hablé con su familia, yo hablé con la hermana de él y ellos están dispuestos a conseguirle ayuda.
That's all I'd like to say, Your Honor.
Es todo lo que quiero decir, su señoría.
Mr. Torres Mantilla, your bond's still set at $25,000.
Señor Torres Mejía, su fianza todavía es de $25,000.
You are not allowed to have any contact with Keisha Lopez. Do not call her, text her, see her. If you were to get out of custody, you cannot go to where she lives or works.
Señor, dice que en este momento no puede tener contacto con Keisha López, no le llame, no le mande un texto, no la trate de ver, no vaya al aire donde ella trabaja,
You cannot possess any firearms or weapons.
no puede poseer ningún tipo de arma de fuego ni armas,
Commit no further acts of domestic violence.
no debe cometer ningún otro acto de violencia doméstica.
The Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you.
Se nombra a la oficina del defensor público para que lo represente a usted.
Your preliminary hearing is set May 9th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m.
Su audiencia preliminar se fija para el 9 de mayo 2025 a la 1:30 de la tarde.
Your felony public defender will be in touch with you soon.
Su defensor público para su felonía se va a poner en contacto con usted pronto.
Mr. Torres Montillo, you also had a misdemeanor warrant for your arrest for a shoplifting case from March 16th of 2024.
Señor Torres Mejía también tiene un cargo por un robo de tiendas en marzo del 2024.
I'm going to enter plea of not guilty.
Voy a presentar declaraciones de no culpable.
Set your next, I'll release you.
Lo voy a dejar salir en libertad.
Your next court date in justice court is May 9th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m.
Su próxima audiencia en el Tribunal de la Justicia es el 9 de mayo 2025 a las 8:30 de la mañana.
And I'll let them know that you're in custody on the felony matter.
Pero les voy a informar de que usted se encuentra detenido a causa del caso por felonía.
You're excused. Thank you.
Ya se puede retirar. Gracias. Your Honor, may the Spanish interpreter be also excused?
Jail, are there any other Spanish-speaking individuals?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Spanish interpreters excused. Thank you.
Your Honor, it's disconnecting.
What is your full name, please?
Lynn Blankenship.
You're charged with 2 separate forgery charges and taking the identity of another person. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. You do have a constitutional right to remain silent to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. There is a probation hold on you. I'm going to hear from the prosecutor's office first, then your attorney. Mr. Hotchkiss.
Yes, Your Honor, we're recommending a $2,500 bond in light of the probation hold. Thank you.
Defense counsel.
Your Honor, she's lived in Tucson for 36 years. She has housing with her partner. She's also currently employed. Obviously, there's the probation hold. We're asking for $1,000 bond.
Ms. Blankenship, your bond is set at $2,500. Legal Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. No contact with any of the victims. Your preliminary hearing is set May 9th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. And you also had a misdemeanor warrant for your arrest at a city court for an assault, criminal trespass, and shoplifting case. The alleged incident date was August 13th, 2021. I'm going to quash the warrant, enter pleas of not guilty. I will release you on the misdemeanor case. Your next court date is June 20th, 2025 at 9 a.m. I'll appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you on the misdemeanor matter also. You are excused. Thank you.
Flores, speak to record. No, Flores.
What is your full name, please?
Christopher Flores Cañas.
You are charged with 2 separate counts of aggravated assault involving a deadly weapon. It is a domestic violence charge. Separate charges of domestic violence, aggravated assault involving deadly weapon. There's 4 counts of that. A domestic violence kidnapping charge and a domestic violence, aggravated domestic violence charge. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty to all those charges. Let you know you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. You do have an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office, then your attorney. You do have a probation hold on you. Mr. Hotchkiss?
We're requesting a $150,000 bond. If the allegations in the interim complaint are even half true, and frankly, they were sworn out on the road, so there's probably some substance to them. There's a lot of concerning things going on here. The involvement of children, the repeated threatening and intimidation with a firearm, the long history of domestic violence, on probation for a domestic violence offense, Form 4C responses that indicate a sky-high lethality. Everything about this case suggests that he is a very dangerous individual as it relates to the female victim. For that reason, the $150,000 bond is warranted. Thank you.
Defense counsel?
Your Honor, he has lived in Tucson for 20 years and does have ties to the community. He's currently homeless, so any amount of bond is going to be a lot for him to post. Also, he has that hold, so he's not going to be released. I'd ask you set the bond at $15,000.
Mr. Flores-Kennedy, your bond set at $150,000. You are not allowed to have any contact with the victim involved in this case. Don't call the person, see the person, text the person, social media the person. If you were to get out of custody, you cannot go to where that person lives or works, possess no firearms or weapons, commit no further acts of domestic violence. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. May 9th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. is your preliminary hearing. You are excused. Thank you.
What's ours? Jinx.
What is your full name, please?
Laura Gonzalez,
What is your middle name?
Guzman Gonzalez,
You're charged with 3 separate, one charge of misconduct involving a weapon, which is a class 4 felony, a class 6 felony for misconduct involving a weapon, and then a misdemeanor misconduct involving a weapon. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. You do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. Mr. Hotchkiss, what is the state's bond recommendation?
Your Honor, we are okay with Ms. Gonzalez's release to pretrial services given the absence of other criminal history and so forth. Thank you.
Ms. Gonzalez, I will release you to the supervision of pretrial services. You must comply with any monitoring treatment they recommend. You are not allowed to possess any firearms or weapons. Do you understand?
yes.
You're not allowed to drink any alcohol or take any illegal drugs while on release status. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. May 19, 2025. Wait, is this a co-defendant case? May 19th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. is a preliminary hearing. You are excused. Thank you.
Yep.
What is your full name, please?
Draven Dallas Shigley.
You had a felony warrant for your arrest for a burglary in 3rd degree charge and a theft charge. The alleged incident date was May 26, 2024. I'm going to enter plea of not guilty, quash the warrant, let you know you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. You do have an attorney who is seated next to you. I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office regarding their bond recommendation and then your attorney. Mr. Hotchkiss.
Yes, Your Honor, we're requesting the amount on the warrant, which is $5,000, and would note the failure to appear history. Thank you.
Defense counsel.
Your Honor, he has no prior felony convictions. He is a lifelong resident of Tucson and has ties to the community. He's currently homeless, and even a couple thousand is going to be a lot for him to post. I'd ask that the court set the bond at $1,000.
Mr. Shipley, your bond set at $2,500. You're not allowed to have any contact with the victim involved in this case. The Legal Advocate Office is appointed to represent you. Your arraignment date is set for May 6, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. Your attorney will be in touch with you soon. You also had warrant for your arrest out of Justice Court for a shoplifting case from February 23rd, 2024, a theft case from September 16th, 2024. In both cases, I'll quash the warrants, release you May 9th, 8:30 a.m. is your next court dates in city court, I'm not city court, justice court, and I'll let them know that you're currently in custody on the felony case. You also had misdemeanor warrants for your arrest out of city court. And one case is for shoplifting from today's date, drug paraphernalia from today's date. You had a warrant for your arrest for shoplifting, criminal trespass from May 3rd, 2024. And then you had a shoplifting, drug paraphernalia, criminal damage case from January 7th, 2024. Because you're being held on that felony, I will release you on these charges, enter pleas of not guilty. I'm going to appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you. Your next court date is going to be June 20th, 2025 at 9 a.m. in City Court. You are excused. Thank you.
Sir?
All of it.
What is your full name, sir?
John Edward Sullivan.
You're charged with domestic violence, aggravated assault involving temporary or substantial injury, and a domestic violence aggravated assault involving violation of a order of protection. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. You do have a constitutional right, sir, to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. There is an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office regarding their bond recommendation. Then I will hear from your attorney. Mr. Hotchkiss?
Your Honor, we're looking at a $20,000 bond and would note what essentially is a nearly lifelong history of domestic violence by Mr. Sullivan. Thank you.
Defense counsel?
Your Honor, he has lived in Tucson for 39 years and has ties to the community. He's connected with Hope for behavioral health. He's unemployed right now and won't be able to post any significant amount of bond. I'd ask you to set the bond at $10,000.
Bond set at $10,000. No contact with the victim, Mr. Sullivan. Don't call the person, social media person. If you were to get out of custody, you cannot go to where that person lives or works. I'll also do a release of pretrial services. Must comply with any monitored treatment they recommend. You are not allowed to possess any firearms or weapons, commit no further acts of domestic violence. The Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your preliminary hearing is May 9th, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. Your attorney will be in touch with you. Thank you.
Sir?
What is your full name, please?
My name is Juan Valdez Espinosa.
Is your middle name Francisco?
Yes, ma'am.
You had a felony warrant for your arrest for burglary in 3rd degree from August 10th of 2023 is the alleged incident date. I'm going to quash the warrant, enter plea of not guilty, let you know you do have a constitutional right to remain silent, to be represented by an attorney. You do have an attorney who is seated next to you representing you for this evening's hearing. I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor's office regarding their bond recommendation, then your attorney, Mr. Hotchkiss.
Your Honor, we request a $5,000 amount on the warrant. Thank you.
Defense counsel.
Your Honor, he hasn't been previously arrested in this matter. He's lived in Tucson for 2.5 years and has ties to the community. I ask you to set the bond at $2,000.
Mr. Valdez Espinosa, your bond set at $5,000. You are not allowed to have any contact with the victim involved in this case. Public Defender's Office is appointed to represent you. Your arraignment date is set for May 6th at 1:30 p.m. You are excused. Thank you. Your attorney will be in touch with you.
Cancel the pretrial.
And Your Honor, I believe that may be it.